Yo, Panther Nation, what's good? Welcome back to Carolina's Armchair GM. I am your host, CJ. What's going on, everybody? All right, so last night the preseason started. Okay, it started. The first game did not end the way we all wanted it to, but the good thing that we can take out of all of this is that football is back officially. Okay, so today we're going to do a recap of the Panthers' 30-10 loss to the Cleveland Browns. Okay. And it's crazy because if y'all join me for the preview, I said that the Panthers were going to win 30-14. Yeah. Nah, it's a good thing I didn't go make any bets on that because I would have lost a crap ton of money. Okay. Would have lost a crap ton of money. All right. But anyway, so for those of y'all that are rolling in, I appreciate all the love and support. Make sure on your way in, whatever platform you're watching on, like, follow, subscribe. Okay. And I appreciate all the love and support. Shout out to all the members of the front office. Okay. I appreciate all your support. Shout out to Mr. Hunky Dory and Flame for Jesus for the gifted memberships in the last live. I appreciate all of you. Okay. Thank you so much for the love and support. All right. But getting into this live here, I do have a special guest. Okay. I got a special guest. A lot of y'all have been asking for him, a lot lately. So, I reached out and I asked him to be here today. And I'm going to give him a slight introduction here, kind of like the old Chicago Bulls of the 90s, just without the music. You know what I mean? So let me see. Let me not do that. Let me not make a fool of myself out here. But let me go ahead and bring him in. He is the one and only. The reason why I started doing the podcast in the first place. All right. He is your favorite couch scout extraordinaire. He has six in one hand, half a dozen in the other. And you know what? He guess he'll call it even. Everybody, please get your crab hands ready for the one and only, my big cousin, Tony. What's going on, dog?
Cuz what's good? What's happening? What it is, what it ain't. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you feeling, man?
Yes, sir. Hey man, football season is upon us. I'm feeling good. Couldn't be any happier.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for big things this year. So, that hey, I'm just ready for it, man. Like I said, football is here.
Okay. Somebody said you ain't no guest. That's family.
Yeah, I saw 'em. I saw 'em. How you
Hey,
been, dog?
man, I can't complain. When I say I have been busy across the board, I mean that in every sense of the word. I mean, I've been busy at work. I have been busy here.
Yeah,
Been busy trying to get stuff done. It's yeah, man. Let me tell you, like life has been lifing lately, but not in a bad way. Just that it's like
right.
okay, like you really need to get your act together and start writing stuff down. I keep saying that all the time, but like I really need to get myself on a schedule because I have a lot of crap that I want to do, and then it's like when I get to going on something, something else happens somewhere else. But all in all, man, I'm good. The kids are good. The wife is great, and she's around the other side of the wall, And but
Right.
yeah, man, everything's straight, man. Everything's straight.
That's
Yeah,
good. That's good, man.
yeah.
That's good.
Okay. But hold on, I gotta see. I gotta see if somebody is in here. Okay, that Mr. B Amos, he in here. Let me tell you, B Amos. I think he got worried about you for a second. I think he thought you might you might not be with us no more. He been asking about you a lot, so I had to get you on here.
Oh nah. Hey, I'm good. Everything Gucci with me, dog. Everything Gucci. Like we say, life be life and sometimes,
Oh
and
yeah.
you have to get your priorities in order, get them straight and
Hmm.
move about life accordingly.
This is true. This is very
Yeah.
true. All right. Hey, and
Yeah.
also I want to say real quick too before we get started, because he is in the chat. Shout out to Panther Dog. Okay, shout out to Panther Dog. I met him and his wife, me and Janelle met them last night at the game. Had a great
Oh,
time
okay.
talking. Great time talking. Great guy. And Panther Dog, appreciate all the love and support, from from everything. We
That's
had a great talk. We really talked the whole second half. I didn't watch much of
yeah.
the second half of the game, but we sat there and talked. And it was just a great time. So shout out to Panther Dog. I really appreciate you, big dog.
You better
All
watch out. Make sure he had no camera on the slide. You know he'll do some pictures in a minute.
right. This is
I still
true.
don't
This is
appreciate
true.
I still don't appreciate how he tried to handle me.
Yeah, and you know what? And look, I ain't even added in here. I was like, nope. I said I'm just gonna leave that where it is.
Oh, Panthers said that was his girlfriend. Girlfriend.
Oh, my bad, my bad. Well, hey, hey, okay, my bad. I'm sorry.
Now she looking for a ring because you don't call her the wife. See what you do?
Well,
See
hey,
what
look,
you do?
I might have done him a favor, man. Hey, trust me. All of us ain't scared of the ring, dog. It's all gravy.
Chill, Will. What's Gucci, baby? I see you, big dog.
Man, all right. Let me get in a few comments here. I'm going backwards, y'all, and I apologize for being a little late. My fault. You had a little technical difficulty, but it's all good. It's all good. Thank y'all for waiting. Nervash, what's going
Yeah,
on?
yeah.
So XL better button up. Mr. Coker breathing down his neck. Well, yeah, yeah. I ain't gonna say necessarily breathing down his neck just yet. I mean, we didn't get to see what XL could have done for the rest of those couple drives because he decided to get his Floyd Mayweather on. But I ain't gonna lie, I'm not mad at him because old boy swung, and we found, well, Janelle found the clip, and and I'm like, oh, he swung on XL first. I'm like, okay, I ain't mad at him. XL gave him an
Right.
uppercut. Punch to the jaw. Hey, I ain't mad at it. But
Hey,
Coker did his thing.
one thing's for sure. He been working on them hands though. I'm just saying. He been working on them hands. Now, however you want to take it, how that fit your narrative. Hey,
hmm
don't shoot the messenger. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I feel you. Oh, and real quick before I get going here, I'm sorry, Nick. Hey, Nick Tri-State, shout out to you, man. Thanks for the $5 super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Said love to see it.
What's going
Yeah,
on, Nick?
man. Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so let me keep on scrolling here. Miss Hunky Dory says Sanders earned a lot of respect. Damn big old monkey off his back, but folks waiting for him to have a bad day now. You know what? And we're gonna get into Shador here in a minute. You know what I mean? It's like my Twitter timeline was full of nothing but Shador. But I do want to get into that a little bit, so I'm gonna say that for later. All right.
A, ra-
Here
a
Doug
raccoon
talking
biscuit.
junk. Except I
Cute.
got Sprinkle biscuit.
QJ said,
Oh, he said I got scrub. He said so hit that man with a two-piece and a raccoon biscuit.
"Oh my god, boy,
Oh,
I ain't
that
been
is
on here
hilarious.
forever and a day. He's still at it." I say, "What's up, QJ?"
Yeah, still at it. Nervous says Browns are absolutely comical for burying him on the depth chart. I watched every Colorado game last year, and the dude deserved to be drafted not long after Cam Ward, talent wise. Facts, facts,
Facts,
facts. That
facts.
that is a
I
fact.
watched
That is
every
a fact.
game. I watched every game that he had at Jackson State that came on TV,
hmm
and every game that he's had since he's been at Colorado. I mean, he's no different than any other quarterback. They had their pros and cons, and I just, the way that he was handled, I didn't like that. That was wrong. And if the NFL or the owners or whoever was trying to send a message to his dad because his dad is brash and outspoken, well, he's earned that right to be brash and outspoken. He's the best to ever do it at his position. He's a Hall of Famer. And
hmm
anything that the way that he is, the way that Dion is now, that's the way he was 30 years ago. Ain't nothing changed.
Facts, facts. Okay. All right, I'm still trying to scroll through the comments here. Look,
Yeah.
Tony, these are your congratulations. Here we go. Here we go. Miss you, big dog.
What's up, B. Amos? Miss you too, man. Miss you too, my
Yeah.
boy.
Oh, Doug said turn the camera on, trying to see that cut.
That's a negative. That'd be a negative, Ghost Rider.
Big Walk, what's going on? He said, Big Dog, what's up,
What's up,
CJ?
Big
And what
Walt?
a great surprise, Tony. Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir.
What's up, my guy? Salute to you.
Dakari, What's going on? I said, had to stop by for a second just so I could say hey to Sid the Entertainer. Big fan, man. Hey,
Hey,
and it's funny because I think it was either B Amos or oh god, I forgot somebody it was like, and I told you this, it was like tell the Chunky Cedric the Entertainer we said hey. I was like, wait a minute, what?
yeah, I'm
Oh
still
man.
alive and kicking. I ain't going nowhere.
Yes, sir. What up, sis? How you doing?
What's up,
Yes,
TT
sir.
baby?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Hunky Dory,
Look,
what's
look,
happening?
look. She said, "Is that Tony?" Yes, that's Tony. That's Big Cuz right there. Okay, cool, man, cool, man. He said, "Of course." CJ was like, "It's all good. It's all good." Rod Walt with Big Tony. All right, Palmetto Panther defense needs to tighten up next game. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Okay, so let's go ahead. Oh, hold on. Hey, Steve Hagel, how you doing, big dog? What's going on with you? Thank you for the $10 super chat. He said, "Hi guys, good to see you together. Listening from work, I had to listen to the game on NFL Network from Washington State. It was horrible. No mention at all about the Panthers, all Cleveland. Man, yeah, let me tell you, man,
Yeah,
that was Shador's game. Like you know,
yeah,
all
yeah,
the way up and down, all the
yeah.
way up
It
and down.
was. It was.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I would love to know what the ratings were for that game. Like how many people tuned in. Like was that the highest watched preseason game in a while? Because I know everybody was watching that game, especially Shador, for their
Mm-hmm.
own personal reasons, whether they wanted him to fail or succeed. And I think
Yep.
most people wanted him to fail because it would have validate their narrative that they have for him anyway. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that
Mm-hmm.
he didn't, oh man, he's a topic of
Mm-hmm.
discussion for here on out preseason.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And the thing, and I even put out a short the other day, and I was like, so I said, are we rooting for Shador or not? And I was. I was. I ain't gonna lie. When he was making passes, we were sitting. I looked at Nell, and I was like, you know what? I was like, okay. I said, I can't even be mad at that. Now I ain't gonna lie. I wanted to take my beer and throw it at this one Panther fan that was in front of me because every time they ran for a yard or two, she jumps up in the air and starts clapping. I'm like, ma'am, sit down.
Right.
Like that. That was just a regular play. Sit down. It's all good,
Hey, she was excited, man. She was excited for the for a
bruh.
football game.
Bro, let me tell you. Hey, but again, Steve, thank you for the super chat, man. Hey, and shout out to Tip
Mhm.
Through Will, Big Will Robinson with the $10 super chat, man. Appreciate you. Said Bryce haters getting real nervous. I will make it my life's work to air they ass out. There you go.
I know this. Hey, hey, Will, I know that's right. I
I
know
know.
that's right.
And it's funny because my first slide. Oh, and again, Will, thank you for the $10 super chat, man. I appreciate you, appreciate you. Okay, and it was funny because I had this first slide here, cuz, and at first I changed I had the different title on it, and I had the title,
Hmm.
how was this Bryce's fault? Okay, because from my experience, watching, doing the podcast, being a Panthers fan, it doesn't matter how we lose since Bryce has been here. Okay, he plays
Right.
offense, he plays defense, he plays special teams. He is a defensive coordinator. He's the offensive coordinator. He's the equipment guy. He gives people the wrong face mask. The helmets. He has to go out of the game to fix people's helmets. All that good stuff. You know what I mean? And it was
Yeah.
funny because I was listening to something last night on the way home, and it was kind of like they couldn't find anything bad to say about Bryce, and I mean, and they were just going off the wall, just talking about all kind of other stuff, and I was just like, okay. I was like, yeah. I said my thing is the goalpost is still, in flex. The goalpost still moving
Oh
all over the
yeah.
place, man.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, they keep wheels on that goalpost. You ain't got to worry about that. They keep the
Hmm.
wheels turning, moving on that goalpost. Yes, sir.
Hey, look, CJ and Tony back together again. I love it. I feel like a new edition reunion.
Hey man,
Yo.
I'm here. I'm here and available whenever little cousin need me, man. It's all
Well,
gravy.
look, well, we're gonna have to make sure that's more often from now on, cause look, everybody's happy you back, and me especially. I'm happy you back with me today too as well, dog. All right. Well, okay. So
Already,
let's go
already.
ahead and get into a couple slides here. I ain't gonna hold y'all too
All
long
right.
today. All right. So first off, all right. First impressions on this team with the first game of the preseason. Cause, what you think?
First impressions of the Panthers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, with the first string, I think the first string moved the ball well, even though the first series was a three and out. I think I didn't realize until the second series that Damian Lewis wasn't playing, that Ja'Tyre
Mm.
Carter was in at the left guard position. So that probably caused some inconsistency at the on the offensive line last night. But for the most part, one of the things I wanted to see is how Bryce was going to come out and react. And was he going to look like the same Bryce that we saw the last 8 or 10 games of the season? Because, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people at the end of the season was talking about, well, we want to know what he's going to look like. And is he going to have that third year slump? You know what I'm saying? So, which in my mind is like his sophomore year slump, if
Okay.
that's a thing. But from what it showed to me last night, like that Bryce that we saw his first year in the first 2 games last year, I think that Bryce is dead and gone, dog. I think that
Yeah.
Bryce is dead and gone. I think he's gotten with a coach. This is first time having the same head coach, going to in back to back years. He's in the same offensive system. He got the same offensive line in front of him, same starting running back, pretty much the same starting receiver core, with the addition of Ted McMillan. But other than that, there's consistency all around the board for Bryce, and that continuity, not just along the offensive line, but the offense as a whole, is going to pay dividends for him going further. So I think it's just continuously only up from here with Bryce.
Okay. I got you. I got you.
What
And
did you think?
and I agree. And what I like the most, okay, so the Panthers came out on that first offensive drive and they went three and out. Okay, they had a run. Bryce missed Chuba. He threw a little behind Chuba. He was coming across the middle
Right.
of the field. And then on the third down play, the man was talking about what's it Jatari
Oh,
uh
Ja'Tyre Carter, the guard.
Carter. Okay. Yeah, the guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, now he
Yeah.
got blew up on that play, and then that's why Bryce had to
Yeah.
take off, and then he got kind of tackled by the ankle, and it was short of the first down. Okay.
Right.
Starting defense, hey, I don't have anything bad to say about them, for the first two drives either. And the offense came back out there on the second possession, and you know, I mean, out of the gate, just out of the gate. Ted McMillan,
Mm-hmm.
one on one, bottom of the screen. Let me tell you, Bryce, they had a single high safety. Bryce saw that,
Yep.
bet. They threw the fade route. And the thing I liked about Ted on that fade route, he kept separation from the sideline. You know what I mean? He wasn't just
Yes.
all hugged up on the sideline, trying to make that pass and then potentially getting a foot or,
Go
a
ahead,
toe
Coach.
to step out of bounds. Yeah, man. Hey, I synced it. I synced it.
Hey,
but
talk that football talk to him.
yeah. But
Yes,
but
sir.
he kept some distance from the sideline, and Bryce lobbed it up there, and it was a great pass, a great catch. And they moved methodically down the field, got the help of a false start on one of those plays, got a first down. Then he gets the pass to Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen gets a first down,
Right.
and I say all this to say I just like the way that Bryce and the offense came back and went down the field. And that touchdown pass that, was missed to Tet. Let me tell you, I went back and watched that replay and I was like, yo, the anticipation on that throw was great because you had the linebacker that was coming towards him from the middle of the field. So he had really like one spot he could put it in. If he was just a little bit too far to the right, that linebacker may have been able to come over there and get a hand on it. But now
Right.
mind you, I think him and timing. Like we talked about, him and Tech's timing will get better, as they progress and whatnot. Because I
Yeah,
mean, like the ball was right there, and Tech threw his thumb. He was like, that was me. That was my fault.
yeah,
So, but yeah,
yeah, for sure.
but I like.
Like I
Oh,
said
and real
earlier, he.
quick. Hold on, real quick,
Oh, go
Tone.
ahead.
Shout out to Nervash for the $5 super chat. He said, "I really hope we see the offensive starters again versus the Texans. Texans defense is no joke if they play any starters. I think we will. I think we will. I think we're going to see the starters, and we're going to see them for more than two drives. I definitely think we're going to
I
see them for
think
more than two drives.
I think Derek Brown is supposed to play that game too. I think he's supposed to
Mm-hmm.
play next week. He's supposed to be back next
Yeah.
week.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah.
hold on, Tone. Here he is. Here's the chunky said
Rock
commenter.
Jones,
Rock
my
Jones.
man. What's
That's him.
going on, Rock? I see. I heard you've been looking for him, my boy. What's happening? Long
Yeah,
time
it's
no
it's
see there, boy, boy.
it's CJ Tone. Nick Scott did not have one good tackle last night. Man, and we gonna
Oh, he
get into
said
that in a minute.
he did
Hmm?
have one good tackle last night. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, he said
he
he did.
he did. Oh, okay, gotcha. I thought, well, hell, that tackle might have been on damn Trevor Etienne when he was trying to make that daggone catch that punt. But I digress. I digress. But yeah, but yeah, it was a good night starting off. Okay, it was a good night starting off.
Yeah,
Now, mind you, after the starters got out of the game, offense and defense, I mean, it just fell right off the cliff right there. Um, but now mind you, and like we was talking about, you said earlier, a lot of a lot of base defense. You know what I mean? Like nothing too spectacular.
right.
Um, but
Yeah,
the one thing I will say that I didn't like, and it seems to be carrying over from last year. I hope it does. I hope this is just a preseason thing. But Shador was back there throwing to a lot of wide open targets. I mean, like wide open. He was hitting cats that were 5 to 10 yards away from anybody. You know what I mean?
but
And I
again,
don't.
you have to remember a lot of the damage that Shadura did was
Mhm.
against the second and third stringers. Those first two series against the first string defense, he didn't have any success. So I
Yeah,
just even though Corey Thornton was playing in a place of J.C. Horn, Corey Hor- Corey Thornton, in my opinion, played a hell of a game. He was everywhere,
absolutely.
aggressive in the run game, aggressive when it came to playing press man. You know, um, you know, shooting the gap on the screenplays,
Mhm.
really seeing it and getting a head start, to be in a position to make a tackle. So yeah, I think Corey Thornton is really playing himself into that third or fourth cornerback position.
Yeah, fact. And I was saying the wide open part. I know it was the second and third stringers, but it's like, dang, I didn't expect them to be that open,
Mhm.
that much during the night. But we'll see. But
All
and,
right.
and then again though, this is a good way to weed out, because they got a lot of decisions to make. This is a good way to weed out who's gonna stay and who's gonna go. And so
Yeah.
I mean that's what the
And
preseason is for.
That and by it being the first preseason game, and it's just like this any year, the first preseason game, nobody is everything is going to be vanilla, offensively and
Mm-hmm.
defensively, and the players that are trying to be the backups and make third string and possibly be on the practice squad or whatever, they're going to get the opportunity to shine. So you have to remember a lot of those guys never played with us before. This
Mm-hmm.
is their first time playing in this scheme. They're
Yeah.
not as seasoned as the ones are. So I'm hoping, I ain't gonna say it will, but I'm just hoping that it gets better over the course of these next two preseason games. But I just really want to see what the ones look like a little more on both sides of the ball. Because at the end of the day, barring injuries, that's who's going to be on the field during the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Facts. I got you. Oh, and let me say this too. Now mind you, like the second team offense didn't look all that great, but they did have a bunch of penalties that were really costly, especially in the first half.
Yes.
Holding penalties
Yeah.
on one drive, and I think this in the same drive where Jalen Coker had that great one-handed grab because the defender had his left arm really like he was
Mm-hmm.
holding his left arm, and all he had was his right. He stuck it out there and grabbed it, made the catch, and brought it in. And then we had a
Exactly.
I forgot what to call. I don't know if it was holding or legal shift or something, and then it brought it back. So, well, a
Right.
lot of penalties on that second team offense. Andy didn't really, he okay, but he didn't really look himself. I don't even know I can sit here and say he looked okay. He didn't look all that great at all. But and I don't
Let
know
me
if
tell
it's
you
worth
something.
mentioning that Idzik called the plays last night too. Now, like I'm just throwing that
Oh,
out there.
is it?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that leads to any defining reasons why the second team looked bad, but he did call the
Yeah.
plays.
I don't think so because I think Brad Isaac called offensive plays in the preseason last year, and
Mm,
the secondary coach for Carolina defense called the defensive plays last year in the
okay.
preseason. So yeah, Andy just looked like he just need to go on and retire, and he needs to take Brady Christensen with him because Brady Christensen was getting beat up over there at the left tackle position. So yeah,
Yeah.
those two right there. Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Well, and on that one play where he got sacked, I know we was talking earlier, and I caught it as I was out here getting ready, and and let me tell you, him and Josh Nyman got destroyed on that play. Both of them was
yes,
standing up, looking at their defender, um, over Andy Dalton on the turf, and I was just like,
yeah.
bruh. Yeah, now mind you, I'm a fan of Brady, and I'm glad that he got back. I'm hoping that's just a one time thing with him. I don't think you're going to see that with him the whole season. Hopefully, and I hate to say this like this. Hopefully, you don't get to see too much of him at all if all the starters on the O line are
Exactly.
doing what yeah. And I hate to say it like that because
Yeah.
I do like Brady Christensen. And I'm glad the Panthers
For
brought
what?
him back. Hmm?
Like him
My
for
thing
what?
is, bruh, he filled in admirably last year. He played center, guard, and left tackle, and he didn't
Center?
look like he did. Hmm?
No, I'm gonna say center or guard. I think he'll be a good backup. He do not need to be out there left tackle.
Oh, okay, I give you that. I give you that. We don't want to see him out of the left tackle every game, but I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I'd rather have him than Josh Nyman. I know Josh Nyman is the backup or right tackle, but if
Hmm.
I had to pick between the two, give me Brady Christensen. I'm sorry. I know he got beat last night, but yeah. Mm-mm. Yeah, Yash, I'm good on him. Hey, and shout out to Bobby Digital for the $2 super chat. Thank you very much. He said, "Is it time to have a convo about Dalton replacement?"
I think
You know
so.
what?
I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Now, I mean, not
Yeah.
not now, not this season. It ain't gonna happen this year, but yeah,
No,
that
not this
that that
season.
could be a thing. Hold on, let me
Yeah,
look real quick. Let me look real quick. Let's
there
see.
are some younger veteran QBs that you can get to back up Bryce Young that's going to play more competent type of football when they're in there, whether it's the preseason or God forbid if something happened to Bryce and they had to
Hmm.
come into the game. I have no faith in Andy Dalton um, as of right now. That's just being
Okay.
honest.
Now he currently has one more year left, and then a voided year in 2027. Because
Mhm.
his cap number is 3.2 million this year and 5.8 million next year. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Um.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he need to
Because so let me see. If we were to cut him this year, we would be let me see, we have dead hit of $8 million. If we cut him next year, let me see, it would be a dead money hit of $5.6 million, but we would save 151 grand towards the cap. Okay. If we cut him
Okay,
this year,
all
we would
right.
be in the negative $5.6 million. So yeah.
Hey, I was checking in the box score. I was wondering did Andy don't get credit for sacking himself. You know, is that a thing?
I, probably not. Which play you talking about?
You know, can't get right tripped over his own foot, over his own feet.
Mm. Oh, Connor man can't get right. Well,
Yeah,
let me tell you. I know if that was a sack, I mean, a stat that they recorded, it'll probably be somewhere, but that's funny. Oh my goodness, yo. Hey, look, Miss Unky Dory said Plumber has an arm, but you need 6 foot arms to catch the pass.
man. I just want to know, Mr. Hunky Dory, did you see him overthrow Jimmy Horn when he had that over route towards the end zone and Jimmy Horn was wide open? Man, I
Mm-hmm.
was so mad. I was so mad. I
I
was like, this dude, he kind of rolled out to the right a little bit, and Jimmy Horn was coming across on the over route from the left and wide open. He had the defender by at least 2 yards, and Jack Plummer just overshot him, dog. Just
mm.
overshot.
Andy, don't ever wear Jordan cleats on turf again. Okay. All
Mm-mm.
right. Well, cool. Well, let's go ahead and get to the next slide I got here, cuz in this one we're
All
going to talk
right.
about who impressed you the most. Okay, or yeah, just who impressed. But on this slide, top left is Ted McMillan. Bottom left is Bobby Brown the third. Top right is Jalen Coker. That's when he caught the touchdown pass. And Corey Thornton with the WWE John Cena. It almost looked like he gave him a reverse RKO. You know, if y'all know, if y'all follow
Bro.
wrestling and you know who Randy Orton is, don't that look like a reverse
Yeah.
RKO right there?
Bro, I got so hyped when he caught dude in midair like that. And I was like, "Oh boy, if he just had a good enough position, he could have really like body slammed him to the ground." But like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so for me, the most impressed, hands down, Corey Thornton,
Okay.
undrafted free agent out of Louisville. Hopefully he looked so far from everything that I've been reading, as far as training camp and everything, and then watching the game yesterday, like he can be that hidden gem like Jalen Coker was last year. Coker, he's not. I'm not gonna say I'm not impressed with him, but he did what I expected him to do. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I didn't expect him to be anything but Jalen Coker. Tet, I wasn't impressed with Tet McMillan. I
Okay.
think he got a ways to go, with,
Mm-hmm.
with some things. Um, but yeah, Corey Thornton, yeah, yeah, he
Okay.
he 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 like that. He's like that.
Oh yeah. And for me, that was good to see because this whole off season, after we got in our free agency, after we got in our free agents, I'm sorry, after the draft was done and you get close to camp, and my whole thing has been all right. In this secondary, we got Mike Jack, we got J.C. Horn, and then everybody, below that, it's kind of been like, I'm still kind of skeptical on everybody. And Corey Thornton, undrafted out of Louisville, he Canales has been talking about him, and they said he's not the fastest player in the world, but they talk about how he's fundamentally sound. You know what I mean? He's
Yes.
usually in the right spot and where he needs to be. Even on the play with the with that reversed RKO, like I like to call it just now. It
Yeah.
was a double reverse. And instead of biting on that reverse, and heading to the other side of the field, he sat in his area. He sat where he was supposed to
He
be
stayed
at, and
home.
he
He
stayed
stayed
home.
home.
And then when my man came around, hey, he dipped up under that offensive lineman, and I don't know what old buddy was trying to do. I don't know if he's trying to pull a Saquon, like he thought he was going to jump over him or whatever. But hey, let me tell you, he tried it.
Yeah.
Corey grabbed him and was like, "Sit your ass down." So, but yeah, yeah, I like and like you said about Coker, okay, now mind you, it's kind of what we expected from Coker, but the thing that gets me is there was so much talk in the offseason, about people saying, oh, well, you keep Thielen, you keep Renfro, and then, Coker's undrafted free agent, so you let him go. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, yeah,
Mhm.
no, I from the jump, I was like, I don't know who these people are thinking we're going to let Jalen Coker go. Like, absolutely not. Like, what kind
Yeah.
of you know what kind of look, what kind of meth are you on? You know, we cokeheads over here. You know, you need to get on the coke. You know, what kind of meth you smoking if you know you think that we're gonna get rid of Jalen Coker. So, but go
Listen,
ahead, Tony.
if last night was an indication, in my opinion, if last night was an indication of what the next two games may be, don't be
Mm-hmm.
surprised when Jimmy Horn don't make the 53. Don't be surprised if
Really?
he get cut.
Really? Wow. You think so?
Yeah, yeah. Listen, I'm a Jimmy Horn fan, so let me just put that out there. But when we just talking strictly football, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? When you
Yeah.
go back and look at his tape from Colorado, he was injured last year. He was injured the year before. Last year, he had that one great game, the first game against North Dakota State. You know what I'm saying? I mean, looking like he was gonna have an outstanding season. You ain't really hear no more from Jimmy Horn uh, the rest of the year. The year
Mm-hmm.
before that, he had that break. He had a breakout game against some. I can't remember who he had that breakout game against, but then he hurt his ankle, but then you didn't really hear from Jimmy Horn anymore in 2023. Like I love
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy, you know, I love his story. I love, where he came from. You know, I think that's what a lot of people love about him. You know, the platform that playing in Colorado put him on, people knowing about, his father being in prison and, Prime basically like being another father to him, father figure. I mean, that's all good, and I love all that. But when you talking about just strictly what goes on in between the lines, he's not there yet. You know what I'm saying? You put a
Mm-hmm.
finger on him. You remember how you was talking about Christian McCaffrey? Somebody put one finger on him and he tackled. You remember that?
Yep.
You
Yeah,
remember that?
yeah.
Okay,
That
Jimmy.
used to bother me so much because it's like Christian McCaffrey
Yeah.
would go up the hole and it's like, cool, he's out. Somebody would get their pinky on his damn jersey and whoop, down to the ground.
Yeah. So I'm just I just think that he has a ways to go. Like he got great hands. The boy can
Mm-hmm.
catch, he can get separation, things like that. But his biggest obstacle is staying healthy. And
Mm-hmm.
then once he learns how to stay healthy, get a little bigger, stay consistent.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Last night, when it, out of all his catches that he made and returning punts, there was really nothing to get excited about. David Moore didn't really look good last night either. I'm trying to tell
Mm-hmm.
people, man, with Hunter Renfro, the best option that you can give Bryce Young is someone that is an elite route runner and knows how to
Mm-hmm.
create separation and got great hands. Hunter Renfro fits all three categories.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. It's not all
Yeah.
it's not always all about being the fastest and having the best
Mm-hmm.
speed.
Mm-hmm.
That
Okay.
that that doesn't serve you not that does not serve you good. That doesn't serve you um any good in the National Football
Mm-hmm.
League if you don't have other things to go along with it.
Okay, bet. And I'm going to say it here first. Yeah, y'all heard it here heard it here first, folks. Jimmy Horn is not going to make the roster according to Tony. Now let me stop. But but
No, the 53-man roster. I don't believe that he'll make the 53-man roster. If anything, I believe
mm,
he can make the practice squad. But the initial 53,
mm,
that's just my personal opinion. With all the wide receiver depth
mm,
that's in the room right now, if you when you that far down on the depth chart as a wide receiver, if you can't make your bones or any splash plays on special teams, then what are
mm.
what are they keeping you for? Because
Okay.
everybody know after the fourth string wide receiver, you really got to contribute on special teams.
Facts.
So I
This is
just
true.
want to see basically what he gonna do special team wise. I don't really. I know he can catch. I know he can run routes, but he's not better than 4 or 5 guys that's in front of him. That's what I'm saying. So you got to have. You got to bring value to the teams in other areas.
Yeah. Okay. Now let me ask you this, and I was going to say this. Well, and Doug says talk about it, Two Tone. Okay. So Danny Trejo kind of thinking what I'm thinking. If they cut him, somebody would snatch him. And if I'm not mistaken, so if the Panthers cut him and sign him to the practice squad, can a team sign him right away, or is it a couple weeks before they can sign people off of other teams' practice squads?
I'm not sure. I don't remember. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how it is in the preseason.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
No, no, I'm talking about like
Not they.
once they get the once they make, because they're gonna make the final 53 man cut after the Steelers game. So if they cut
Okay.
him and he hits the practice squad, because the same thing happened to Coker last year. Coker got cut, hit the practice squad, and then got signed back to the main roster. A few games into the season and whatnot. But if I'm trying to figure out if there is a like a time
Then
period. Go
then
ahead.
Danny Trejo said if he goes through waivers first, that's if they release him. If they release him and he clears waivers, then yeah, he can sign with anybody. But if you put him on the practice squad, well, first, no, I think Danny right because either way, if you don't make the
Mm-hmm.
53-man roster, you basically have cut him, and if
Mm-hmm.
he clears waivers, then you have the
They can sign him.
opportunity to bring him back to the practice squad. But if you put him on waiver and somebody claim him, he gone.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Well, for me, just for that simple fact, I think I think he does make the 53. And for the reasons that you said, like the upside that he has, you give him a little bit of time to mature, get his route running down, get his health right, get in
Hmm.
here and get with these trainers. And again, I brought this up earlier. Well, I brought this up all off season. We have a whole new training staff in here now. So hopefully that'll help out with some of these injuries and things we have, because knock on wood, we haven't had the bad injury bug this preseason. I
Did,
mean, it's been a
did
few
he
here and a few there.
did he just
Go ahead,
knock on
Tom.
his head?
Yeah.
He said knock on wood.
hmm Let me tell you. Let me tell you. If let me tell you, if I'm somewhere and I say knock on wood and there's not a piece of wood anywhere around, I do this right here. I'm hard
Got
headed,
you.
so just hey,
So I just
that's
want
just
to say, like
me.
like I said, I want to see Jimmy Horn make the team. I honestly and
hmm
truly do want to see him make the team. But the reality of it is, with everything that's going on right now, if you just had to base it off last night, right? If last night was any indication of the possibility of him making the team, it was the good indication. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I got you. I got
Nell-
you. Yeah.
Nella say your whole desk is wood.
I know it is. I know it is. But the thing is, can't nobody see me tapping on my desk here. That's why I did this too. and,
Oh God. Oh God.
and man, this that IKEA stuff. It's particle board. Hey, you know. And I
I
know she gonna say it
yeah,
still
this
made of
myself.
wood. It said we can
Mhm.
hear it though. Okay, all right, cool. Gotcha. All right, and I did want to mention Bobby Brown the third. Okay, I'm so happy to have
Yes.
him at nose tackle. All right, and then you can see some of the plays where he's attracting those double teams, and he was
Yes.
out there with the okay. So most of the starters had gone to the bench, and he played I think another
Hmm.
series or two. And he had a
Hmm.
good play. He stuffed the run in the backfield, and did his signature little
Yeah.
crawl, and then got up. Man, let me tell you, I'm up there yelling and screaming and stuff. But let me tell you, I am so glad to see somebody other than Shy Tuttle as our starting nose tackle.
I like that
I just
play that him and Princely both got to Shador you know,
Mm-hmm.
but it was like it was like half a second too late by the time Princely had got his hands on him. But they both collapsed that right side, I mean the left side of the offensive line, and got in the
Mm-hmm.
backfield. So yeah,
Yeah.
I love that push that he gives. Like you said, that we did not see that last year at all from Shot Tuttle. But being able
Mm-hmm.
to push that center, collapse that pocket. You saw it a
Facts.
couple times last night from Cam Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
My only thing that was about Cam Jackson, even when he was coming out, was that he has a slow get off. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like when the ball is snapped, it's like another
Mm-hmm.
half second before he moves. I think if he can clean that up and get some more juice behind him,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
when he come off the line, yeah, I think
Mm-hmm.
that would serve him well, but he just a half tick too slow once the ball is snapped. But he's another one that once he get his hands on you, I seen him put the center in the backfield a couple times as well.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. Especially in that joint practice, he put old buddy on his on his ass in that joint. I know that's joint practice, but
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
still a good
yeah,
play.
yeah.
All right. All right.
Still a
Hey,
good player.
and before we move on to our to the last slide, topic that I got here, well, one of the last ones. Um, we are going to do a bit of a giveaway here. Okay. So I have this. All right. I have this here. It's a custom Carolina Panthers chain made by the wonderful Nellis Creations right here on the other side of the wall. Okay, so I'm gonna do a giveaway
Okay.
at the end. All right, and if you want to be entered to win the chain, type hashtag Panthers in the comments. Okay, hashtag Panthers. All right, so we're giving away one of these custom Carolina chains right here. Um, you can see these in the store at Bank of America Stadium, but they don't quite look like this one right here. So like I said, if you want it, hashtag Panthers in the chat. Y'all can go ahead and enter it now, enter it later. And I'll mention it again before we do the giveaway. And yeah, and we'll do it at the end. But hashtag Panthers
That's what's up.
to register to win one of those chains, okay? And let me tell you, I be sitting here sometime. I'll be like, damn, I'm going to the grocery store, and I'll be like, damn, I want to go out there and grab that chain and rock it to the grocery store. But yeah, man, yeah, okay, all right, cool beans, cuz. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to the next one. All right, and I kind of want to ask this because this has been all the topic on Twitter, all over the place, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you go, to get your news or discuss or talk about the Panthers. All right. Okay.
Right.
How far are we going to go with it's just the preseason? Okay. How far are we going to go with just the preseason? And I say that because there are, Shador last name. Let me bring up Shador. Okay. I keep seeing people say it's just the preseason, which I do agree. And then instantly all the comments, oh, you never wore a jersey before. Oh, you don't know football. Oh, this and that. Okay, cool. But then, you got our fan base. And, it's oh my God, here we go again. Here we go again. Another, five and whatever season loading, doom and gloom, this and that and the third. Okay. So my thing is,
Yeah.
cuz how far we go with this is just preseason. Especially with this being the first game.
All right. Before I answer that, B Amos said, "How can he buy one?" So, try to put a cousin Nella
Oh
Creations
yeah.
on point right
Hey,
there.
okay, well look here. If you don't win it and you want to buy one, hit me up on X. Okay, send me a message on X and we'll make it happen. All right. Send me a message on X. If y'all want to get with me outside of the live stream, hit me up on X. And what I'm going to do pretty soon here, y'all, because I'm gonna have some time off next week, and I'm gonna get quite a few things done while I'm off. Okay, but what I'm going to do is set up a Discord. I'm gonna set up a Discord for everybody. All right, and then that'll be a easy way that we can all chat and stuff. But right now, if you want to get up with me, send me a message on X. All right, I'm always on there. I'm always checking it. All right, well, go ahead, Tom.
Um, when it comes to preseason, especially with our fan base, I can't talk about anybody else because I don't pay no attention to them. But it's like they have a hard time understanding the concept of preseason. Like if you've been watching football, you know what preseason is, especially the first game of the preseason. You know it's going to look vanilla, both
Mm-hmm.
offensively and defensively. You know there's a lot of second, third, and fourth stringers that's going to be out there. This their first time probably playing ball, first time playing in our scheme. So they're not going to look as crisp as the starters or people that have been playing in the system for a while. So you're going to have mistakes. You're going to see busted coverages. You're going to see the routes, the wrong routes being ran, and missing blocks and things like that. This kind of stuff happens. What this allows you to do is have actual game tape, game footage for the coaches to go back to have a teaching moment. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? To correct the mistakes that you have that they saw in the game yesterday, and you look to build upon that. People panicking, talking about, oh, if the defense gonna look like this, I don't know what the season gonna look like. Well, damn, do you remember the first two series when Cleveland didn't score at all on the first team defense
Facts.
without Derek Brown, without J.C. Horn? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
come on, man. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think people talk sometimes just to hear themselves talk, just to clickbait, get engagement on social
Mm-hmm.
media. That's why I read it. I be on there every day, but I don't be commenting because a lot of stuff
Yeah.
don't be worth commenting about.
Yeah, this is true. This is true, and I agree. Okay, I definitely agree. And but I think it's a thing with we haven't had a winning season since I think it was like 2017 or 2018, one of them.
Hmm.
And and we're just so used to it just being bad. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And now mind you, yes, I would love for our depth to be able to go out there and play better and look better than they did last night. Okay, and without a doubt. Okay, and
Right.
whether it's base defensive coverages, whether it's just a base offensive scheme or not, you want to see the depth go out there and execute, especially it's our second and third stringers against their second and third stringers. Okay, you don't want to
Hmm.
see them go out there and just get walked up and down the field, whether it be offense or defense. Okay, but
That's
like you
true.
said, Tony, like you said, at the same time, hell, 70% of these people are not going to be on the 53. Okay, but like I said earlier, this is the preseason. This is what this is for. This
Right.
is how you weed out these people that are like, okay, cool, we've given you a shot, and
Exactly.
you haven't taken advantage of it. Okay, like a Corey
Right.
Thornton. Mind you, he probably he may have just made the roster last night. Now, mind
He
you, he
ain't
goes
going
out here
nowhere.
against yeah, if he goes out here against Houston and Pittsburgh and completely craps the bed, then we might have to have another conversation about it. But if he continues this, and they've been talking about him for a while now, if he continues playing like this, he's good. He's
Hmm.
good. He had his ups and downs. He was in the back corner of the end
Yeah.
zone when Shador threw that first touchdown. Now, mind you, nice pass too, nice pass and a good catch. And I think one of the Panthers players, I mean, they're probably about maybe this far away from getting a finger on it. Everything ain't going to
Well,
be great off the jump with him, but he's doing good. Go ahead, cuz.
on that particular play, 27 was the primary corner. Corey Thornton
Oh,
was the corner to the boundary, and he tried to fall back off of his man and try to
got you.
jump, but the Shador layered the ball right
Mm-hmm.
over him.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like
Bartholomew. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Bartholomew. Now he had a
Mm-hmm.
bad day. Now he's had a great camp last year. He had a great camp the year before with the Jets. From all reports that I've been seeing on X, he's had a great camp this year.
Mm-hmm.
But like Dave Canales said, you have these ones that have great camps, but when it comes game time, they don't show and prove.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
Game time is where it matters.
Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, because my thing is, now mind you, I want to see the Stars play a little more the next game versus Houston, but
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, if we can go out there and duplicate that, because just think about it, how long it took us to get started to have those type of drives. And I know I'm talking preseason versus regular season, but like the first two games,
hmm,
of last year. Okay. And I
yeah,
know Cleveland didn't have all their starters out there, and everybody knows that. But even still, you go out there and you play against who is out there on the field. All right, whether it be backup,
right.
some starters, or what. But yeah, man. But for me, in all, you have to give it. I'm gonna say this. You have to keep in mind that it's just preseason, but you can't let it be the entire excuse for everything. If you get what I'm saying, like it
Right.
is just preseason, but some people go out there and do what they're supposed to do or don't do what they're supposed to do. Then it's just like, okay, well, this ain't just preseason. You sir might not make the roster. All right. So my thing is like you can give a little leeway with the it's just preseason talk, but at the same time you have to be real about what's going on as well. And the real from last night was
That's true.
our second and third stringers played like ass. They played like complete ass. So yeah. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. But like you said, this is that time of the season where just like we have scouts that's watching the other 31 teams in the league, just as well
Mm-hmm.
as they're watching us. So there's going to be some changes made throughout preseason. There's going to be some players that come and go because at the end of the day, what they're trying to do is really tighten up the depth and show up the back end. Like they're just trying to have competition all across
Mm-hmm.
the board. And
Facts.
the areas where they really weak at, players they don't think that's going to be here, they gonna move them out and ship somebody else in, bring somebody else in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my
Yeah,
dad said Bartholomew was right there, just a good throw. Like I said, I saw
that's
somebody
true.
hand that was very close to that darn pass, but it was a great throw. Was a
Yeah,
great throw.
no, he was there. He was
Mm-hmm.
there, but like Danny said, that was just a good damn throw by Shador, and it was. It
Mm-hmm.
was. It's not like the receiver was wide open.
Yeah.
It's not like
Now,
he was
okay,
wide open at all.
and let me add on to the whole it's just preseason talk too. So next week, when we go and play Houston, right? Um, do you think that Evero opens up the bag a little bit more and does a few more different things? Because I'm going to assume that Houston is going to be the dress rehearsal. I don't expect any of the starters to play versus the Steelers. I expect that
Right.
to be the game where it's like, okay, for those of you like Dave Canassa, those of you who are showing up in practice but ain't doing nothing out here in these games, this is your last chance to show and prove. So next week, do you
Right.
think that do you think offensively and defensively they open up the playbooks a little more?
Yeah. I
Okay.
expect this just my opinion. I expect the offense and the defense to at least at the minimum play a quarter.
Okay.
Because they typically now that we only play 3 preseason games instead of 4, so now
Mm-hmm.
you get them out there and you play them in that second one. Now you let them rest. Skip the third preseason game because that's where all the backups going to play. The ones
Mm-hmm.
that's on the fringe and making the roster, or potentially get on the practice squad or whatever. That's the real dress. That's the dress rehearsal for them. The backups is week 3.
Mm-hmm.
Week 2 is going to be our backups, and week 3 they're going to rest. They're going to rest the starters.
Facts. Okay. Facts,
Mhm.
facts, facts. Hey, and shout out to Big Mo for the $4 or for the $5 super chat, man. Really appreciate you. He said, "What's up, fellas? Good to see Tony on. People have to realize other teams have guys trying to make their roster just like we do. Yeah, facts.
What's up,
That
Mo?
is a fact. That is a
Yep.
fact. you know. But hey, and like I said, you know, it is the preseason, but even still, yeah, I would have wanted a little better showing, you know, from our second and third stringers, you know, last night. Because now mind you, you think about it like this, you know, in the first half, I mean, hell, the defense is the second string defense had a three and out against Shador and the Browns. But then they punted the ball, and then you know our starting free safety as of right now, you know, kind of ran into
Slick Nick,
kind of ran
Slick
into
Nick,
Trevor
what they call him.
Etienne. Yeah, and at first I was sitting there thinking like, okay, cool. I don't think that ball hit anybody, but it turns out it did. You know, and then it set them up down there
Mhm.
inside the 10-yard line. You know, and they put the ball in the end zone. All right, and shoot, what was the other drive? Well, he kind of basically just drove all the way downfield on that one. But yeah, I mean, you know, and my thing is, we gifted them. You know, I say we gifted them that touchdown, and then on offense, you know, we had a bunch of penalties. Okay, there was some big plays made by Andy Dalton in that first half. There was he had a touch pass to Rico Dowdle, and then he had the big play to
Yeah,
Jalen Coker, but then that got brought back. You know, so and then after that, that's when you know his tackles decided that they were going to watch their guys, you know, run around them. So yeah, and that's how
right.
that drive ended. But
Yeah,
yeah, man. But you know,
Black and Blue made a good point. He said Brad Isaac and Jonathan Cool. That's what I
cool.
was trying to remember. But they called plays last year in the preseason, you know. So
Mm.
like you said, it's live reps for them just as well as it is for the players.
True. Because I do remember that one play where Shador threw a screen. Trevin Wallace came on a blitz. And man, let me tell you, when I say that running back stood right there and at the last second dipped off, and I was like, ooh, I
Hmm.
said, boy, I said, let me tell you, I said, when I said that was a perfect play call.
But you know what? Believe it or not, that was an excellent play by Shador because he saw
Mm-hmm.
Trevin Wallace coming up the middle. And when he moved to the right, that brings the linebacker towards you, which brought him towards that running back, and he picked
Mm-hmm.
up the blitz.
Yep.
And he stopped, set his feet, touchdown.
Mm-hmm. I got you. I got you. Hey, and you know what? And let's go ahead and get into this here real quick too. All right, let's talk about
All
Shador a
right.
little bit. Let's talk about Shador. Okay, so from what I'm seeing on my timeline, he's going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He's probably already there, and this morning getting his
Getting his
statue made.
bus,
Yeah, getting his
getting his
bus made.
bus
Yeah,
made.
he's there this morning. They're not gonna give him a gold jacket. Shador's going to change the game. It's gonna be some different color. You know what I mean? But and not trying to take anything away from Shador because you know I like I said I am rooting for him, but and that's why I bring about kind of like a double standard. You know, with our
Hmm.
fan base, it's all you know. It's doom and gloom, you know. But then when people say, "Oh, well, it was just he didn't do anything against the first stringers on defense, and it was just preseason." But with them, it's like, "Oh no, 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 it's not just me." I agree. I think he went out there and I think he looked good. Okay. I think he did a damn good job. And like I said on the preview, and like I said on my short, um, I think this does well depending on how Tyler Show and Jackson Dart look. I still don't think and Joe Milton. I forgot Joe Milton was drafted before him too by the Seahawks. You know what I mean? I still don't think he should have been drafted. Oh, and Dylan Gabriel, his own teammate. I still
You
don't
mean
think he
you
should
mean
have been.
Jalen Milrow, not Joe Milton, Jalen Milrow.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
Yeah,
Jalen Milrow. Thank you, cuz. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
yeah.
I still don't think he should have been drafted behind all of those guys, regardless. Even if
Oh
he would have
no.
came out here and had even if he wouldn't have had as good of a game as he had last night, I still think he would have been a better pick, over the rest of those guys. But Tony, what you think about Shador?
Um, how can I say this? Because so much has been talked about the young man as if he went out and did something to somebody. You know, a lot
Mm-hmm.
of the flack, majority of the flack that he catches, he catches because he's Deion Sanders' son, and because
Mm-hmm.
Deion Sanders is brash, cocky, overconfident, whatever. You know, well, however you want to view him. But one thing I'll say about that, CJ, me and you talked about this before.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to fault the son because who his father is, then you are a hater.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Yep.
Because the man has never done anything to make someone, in my opinion, this is just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen anything that Dion has ever done to make somebody just hate him. You hate the man. The man was the best at his position in the National Football League.
Mm-hmm.
Arguably one of the best two-way athletes in sports, period. Hall of
Yeah.
Famer.
Mm-hmm.
Started a youth program called Truth in Dallas. All right. Coach's sons, coach's daughter in basketball. Been coaching kids for 20, 25 years. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, man is strong in his faith. He don't drink, he don't smoke, but because he has the cachet to be confident and walk with a swagger, you know, you want to hate on him because of that. And now you want to carry that over to his son because you can't attack Dion as a player because he don't play no more. You can't attack and say anything about what he did in the National Football League. He has a resume to support everything he's ever done.
Be
So
doing it.
since you can't attack him there, the next best thing you feel like you want to do is attack his son. Well,
Mm-hmm.
let's go down that list. When he was at Jackson State, first of all, coming out of high school, the boy was a high three, low four-star recruit. Got
Mm-hmm.
recruited by Alabama, recruited by Georgia, Georgia Tech. Could have went anywhere. He went to go decide to play for his one of his father good friends at Florida Atlantic. Dad gets a job at Jackson State. He said, "Oops, well, let me backtrack. Let me go here with pops." He could have
Mm-hmm.
stayed where he could have went wherever he wanted to go, but stayed with his dad. So now he go to Jackson State, shows out. They said, oh, well, he can't do that on the P5 level. Then he gets to the Pac 12. First game of the season against TCU, throw for over 500 yards against TCU and 5 touchdowns. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, playing behind a, a below average offensive line. Let's just be all the way clear on that. Both years at Colorado, he played with a below average offensive line. You know what I'm saying? They had
Mm-hmm.
no remnants of a running game whatsoever. So then you say, oh, well, that was just the one trick. He got lucky. Moved from the Pac-12 to the Big 12. What did he do? First team all Big 12. Led the conference in passing. You know what I'm saying? Johnny
Mm-hmm.
Unitas award winner. The boy has thrown for over 14,000 yards in his career with a career average of 71% completion percentage. And all the talk leading up to the draft was that he was either a first round pick. Some people have him in the
Mm-hmm.
top 10. Some people have him at the bottom of the first. Then you had some people say maybe the second. Now, there's rumors out there, reports out there that he bombed the interviews and,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, whatnot. Father came out, said that's a bunch of BS. I know my son, whatever the case may be. But whatever it is, the one thing people can't say is that the boy can't play football. And if you're a team out there and you're in need of a quarterback and you drafting a quarterback and you're evaluating quarterbacks based on their production on the field, there's honestly no reason why he should have failed to the fifth round other than the hatred that you may have in your heart towards his father. Because his father came out and was brash enough to say, oh yeah, if we go to so and so team, oh, we ain't going.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's really no different than what Archie Manning did for his son. Ain't no
Mm-hmm.
different than what he did for Eli.
Yeah, he got drafted by the
Eli got
Chargers, right?
yeah, got drafted by the
Mm-hmm.
Chargers. What Archie do said, no, we ain't going there.
Pretty
Work
much.
behind the scenes, created a trade. Next thing you know, he's going to the Giants. Phillip Rivers goes to the Chargers.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
I
Yep,
mean,
you actually right about that.
like I've had my knocks on Shador. I know Shador is a great quarterback. Like I said, I've watched all his games. He did two things last night that reminded me of what he did at Colorado,
Mm-hmm.
running around back there in the pocket on two of those plays. Now, granted, the pressure got up on him real quick. I would
Yeah.
love to have seen him just step up. You know what I'm saying? Just
Mm-hmm.
step up in the pocket or just throw the ball away. Just don't try no hero ball
Yeah.
because the eyes are on him so heavy. Like if he wasn't who he was and wasn't built for this moment, he probably would have cracked last night. But because
Mm-hmm.
he is, he's had the right coaching, brought up in the right environment, and this and that. He was ready for this moment. It's not under his control whether he's playing against first string, second string, or third string. That's beyond the point. He was put out there, and whoever he lined up against, across from, go do your thing.
Facts. Facts. God dang, boy, I wish I had some organ sound bites in here, boy. I mean that let me tell you, boy, that damn tone with the
Man,
church just now. That's what I'm talking about.
man, I'll be wanting to go off on people so bad on some of these comments on Twitter, man. But I'm like, I'm not a Twitter person like that. I
Mm-hmm.
ain't with all that Twitter beefing and stuff. But
Yeah,
it's just some people. So, hey, listen, there's some demons out here in this world, and
big facts.
they are dressed like humans.
Big
Let me say it like
facts.
that.
Big facts. Yeah. Hey, look, Will said, I'm so glad the Saints passed on Sanders now there.
Hey, me too, Will. Hey, hey, the only thing is I hope he don't play too good to the point to where Cleveland say, "Oh, we got some trade bait," and people start calling him and trying to get him in the
Man,
trade before the regular season.
boy,
That,
hey, let me
that's
tell
what
you.
I hope.
Yeah.
That's what I
Well,
hope.
but you know what though? If he continues playing like this and he keeps impressing, uh, uh, people, coaches, everybody, Cleveland needs to keep him. They don't need to trade nothing. I mean nothing. I mean they got like 17 quarterbacks on the roster. Now if you want to keep Joe Flacco as a starter, okay, I can get that. All right. Say you have Shador as the backup. Okay, you go out there for
Hmm.
maybe this season, part of the season, whatever. He sits and he learns. Okay, and then you know what, you take it and next year, because I don't know if I forgot how old Joe Flacco is, but we don't know for sure if he's gonna be here next year or not. But my thing is, if he keeps impressing, still stick with Flacco. Let that man sit, learn, and get comfortable. Like I said, if Cleveland may have something here, if they take their time and do it right. You get what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
take their time, do it
The,
right.
the young man is polarizing. Like j- he's polarizing, and he
Mm,
can do so much good for your organization just by who he is in the presence that he commands, especially with the young kids in the community.
mm,
Like he's a gravitational pull, but at the same time, on top of that, he's a pretty good football player.
yeah, he sure is.
He's a pretty good
Hey,
football player.
and shout out to Will for emphasizing it again. He's so glad that the Saints passed on Sanders. Yeah,
Who who is Uncle Leroy? Uncle Leroy said send the link. Curtis.
he called me Curtis Payne. Now I ain't sharing the link today, Uncle Leroy, but I appreciate you being in the chat, dog. Yeah, I have been dubbed Curtis Payne by good old Uncle Leroy. Yo, he is hilarious, dog. Straight up hilarious. Appreciate you. And
Who's
again,
that?
well, I
Oh,
appreciate you for the
Leroy.
$5 super chat. Yeah, he is a fool.
Uh,
But yeah, but again, thank you, Will, man. I appreciate you. Okay. But yeah, but that's about all we got for the day. Anything else that you want to touch on, Tone, before we do this giveaway?
mm, not anything that I could think of right off the top of my head. You know, I just want to say this. I was
Mm,
conflicted as hell watching that game last night because I wanted to see my Panthers do good. I want to see Bryce do good, but I want to see Shador too shut up all the haters. Now
yeah.
you can best believe because I seen on YouTube like everybody did a show or video on Shador and being successful last night against the Panthers or whatnot. But I can't wait till Monday to see what they say on First Take and Get Up and
Mm-hmm.
all these other shows. Like this young man is going to be the talk of the NFL preseason. Trust
Yeah.
me. And
Yes.
he has really given the Cleveland Browns a whole lot to think about. Cause whatever box they had for him to check last night, he checked them all.
Tis true. It is true. This is very true. All right, bet. Okay, so for everybody who has just joined or wasn't here earlier, I do have get it off the hook here. One of these, okay? Panther logo
Custom made.
and chain, custom made by Nella's Creations, okay? And I'm gonna do a giveaway here in a minute. If you want to be part of it, type hashtag Panthers in the chat, okay? Hashtag
Shit, I
Panthers
need
in the
one of them.
chat for a chance to win this chain right here, okay? Yeah, but and I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and if anybody else wants
Tito
to,
Jackson. I'm sorry. I should have muted my
wow.
mic.
He said Corey Thornton is going to end up taking Tito Jackson's position at cornerback. Gotcha. But yeah, man. So if anybody else wants to go ahead and hit hashtag Panthers in the chat, to win the chain, y'all go ahead and do that now. But yeah, man. But I'm with you too, cause I was conflicted a little bit, cause it was like, yeah, I want to see shine, but in the same breath, I was sitting there like, damn, come on, y'all. Like once the starters got off the field, I'm sitting there like,
Yeah.
don't get out here and look
But
just like complete vanilla.
it kind of worked out in the best case scenario because I didn't want to see him do it against the first team defense.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
care about
Oh yeah.
I didn't care about the second and third team as long as he didn't do it
True.
against the first team defense. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I would have been a little bit happier if our second and third string offense could have went out there and put up some and put up some more points. It would have been a little bit, less of and it was a lot of mistakes. If they wouldn't have had as many mistakes as they had last night and we could have put up some more points, it'd probably been a little better. You know what I mean? But you're right though. Definitely didn't want
Hmm.
to see him go out there and do that against our first string offense and defense. Against our first string defense, my bad. Glad he
Right.
was able to take advantage of his situation. So we'll just leave it at that.
And everybody, if everybody is playing next week, I hope J.C. Horn plays next week. I hope he has the stitches out of his hand by then. They already said that Derek Brown is going to play next
Mm-hmm.
week. So if everybody plays and we get to see them for a good quarter, I think we still won't see the whole bag being empty, but I think
Mm-hmm.
we'll see a little more than what we saw um yesterday.
Okay. All right. Facts. All right. Let's go ahead and get into this giveaway here. All right. So we got 9 entries so far. Hold on. I see SC Panther boy. That should update in a second here to should be 10. Give it a second.
Call my cousin Nell and see what I can do about getting one of them chains though.
Hold on. Let me
But see see if I
hey,
get
I
a
tell you
UAE
what. Hey,
special.
Hey, Panthers boy, do me a favor. Put it in lowercase. Put the P in lowercase. Type it again in the chat. Put the P in lowercase. All right. Okay.
You,
So now
you
we
too,
got
you
10.
too, Uncle D. Put in lowercase.
No, I think it's good. It just went to 10,
Oh,
and
okay.
let me see. Okay, now we got 11. Now we got Big Mo. So let me give it a second here. I think it's slowly updating. I want to make sure I don't miss out on nobody. But yeah, man. Hey, hey, and hold on. And I don't know if y'all noticed. Let me see. Damn,
I
this
see.
right here.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I see that.
I don't know if y'all noticed this right here. But let me tell you, when I say my wife has had that 3D printer cooking, I mean cooking,
Oh,
bro.
she made that?
Let me tell you, when I say your boy about to take keep pounding to another level, oh, it's on.
Dang.
I did not know if I could take this into the stadium with me last night, but I saw what's my man name oh god he's the Panther fan. He always has the blue hair. His dad was the Panther fan. He passed, and now he's taking. I can't remember. I'm not y'all know who I'm talking about. Yeah, I know y'all know who I'm talking about. But he came out of the stadium with something, a lot bigger than this. And I was Catman. Thank you, baby. Catman. I saw, yeah, Catman Jr. Thank you, Marcos. I saw Catman Jr. come out of the stadium with something like this, but I mean, he had damn near a whole, sledgehammer handle with something like this on the end of it. But yeah, let me tell you, I'm about to take keep pounding to a whole nother level. Let me tell you, the missus has been hooking me up. When I say when she got this joint off that damn 3D printer, I was in shock. Let me tell you, I had no
That's
words.
nice.
I was sitting there like, yo, and I mean, and it's got the little top piece, and it's got the little insignia here on the corners and whatnot. Got the little piece on the handle. But bruh, let me
Yeah.
tell you,
How
man.
long how long did it take the 3D printer to make it?
Oh, it takes some hours. It takes some hours. And I think I put that back on there wrong. I sure did.
It got a little
There we
stand
go.
and everything, huh?
Yeah. She 3D printed the stand as well. So yeah. But yeah. But all right. But let me go ahead and get back to the hold on, let me see what Doug say. Yeah, Negro, please. You know what, Doug? Go on somewhere and sit down.
What does that?
Someone's still trying to be like Cat Man, call him Kitty
Yeah,
Jr. Nah, buddy. Nah, let me tell you. Hey, look, you call me Cat Daddy.
that's so
That's what you call
disrespectful.
me. Yeah. So some Kitty
So,
Jr. Boy, let me tell you. Well, hey, you know what, Doug? When next time I see you, yeah, I'm gonna give you what XL gave old boy last night. We gonna have to throw some hands next time I see you.
that's
All
funny.
right, y'all. Yeah, appreciate you, Panther dog. Appreciate you. Okay, let's go. I think everybody's in there now because it only takes your entry once. If you put in multiple times, if you got it the first time, you're good to go. All right. So let's go ahead and draw. All right. Hey, Bobby Digital. Hey, let me tell you, he said, man, I want one of them chains.
Yeah,
Hey,
he sure
congrats,
did.
Bobby. Congrats. Okay. Hey, hold on. Hold on 1 second, Tony. If you wouldn't mind, I do. I'm on call at work. I got to take this one call here real fast. So I'll be right back, y'all. Right back.
All right, no problem. I try to hold it down. Oh man. So what's up, everybody? Everybody in the chat. What's going on? What's going on? I do have one question. I want to know what you guys are hoping to see with Houston next week. You know what I'm saying? Like who do you feel like need to impress the most? I think that's a good question. What's up, Nick? What's going on, my guy? Yeah.
All right, y'all. Sorry about that. I'm good. Appreciate you, Tone. I'm sorry.
Uh,
Sorry about that, y'all. But yeah, man. Okay. Hey, Bobby Digital. Congratulations, big dog. Congratulations. What I need you to do, okay? My email, I'm going to hold on. I'm going to pin it in the chat here. I put my email in the chat earlier. Um, that is if I can find. You know what? Let me just put it in here again. Okay.
yeah, congratulations, Bobby Digital.
Okay. So you see it right there. The armchair GMCJ at gmail.com. All right. Send me an email, give me your name and address, and I will get that shipped out to you as soon as I can. Okay. And again, congrats, man. Congrats. Trust me. Trust me. You're gonna like that bad boy.
Call
They
nephew
said
Cat.
call you Cat Daddy Curtis Payne because he bringing the fire. Hey, there you go. There you go. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Hey, so
Yeah.
so the question I asked the chat, CJ,
Mm.
while you was taking the phone call, who or what do they want to see make the biggest impression next week against Houston? Who needs to make the biggest impression, whether it's one person or a group, against Houston next week?
The defense, the defense, and as a whole. Okay, you going up
Okay.
against C.J. Stroud. Okay, and that offense, and I know they don't have Stephon Diggs anymore, but you do have my man that got drafted, Higgins from Iowa State. Is Joe
Mm.
Mixon? I want to say I heard Joe Mixon got hurt. I don't know if that's true or
Yeah,
not.
they got Nick Chubb.
Nick, well, I mean, I hate to say this like this, but well, never mind. Let me not say that. I ain't gonna wish that on nobody. But yeah, my thing is this. If the defense can go out there and be, I ain't gonna say decent. I want them to be good in the run game. Okay. I don't want it to look like Swiss cheese out there as far as the passing game, but we got to be able to put pressure on C.J. Stroud. Okay, and not only from the
Right.
outside, but like I keep saying, Bobby Brown, Derek Brown will be back. Then you got Ashawn Robinson, Turk Wharton. You want to see pressure from the outside
Mm-hmm.
and up the middle to be able to collapse that pocket and make C.J. Stroud feel
Be
uncomfortable.
off his
And
spot.
all
Yeah,
yeah, and
exactly.
offensively, I want to see them be able to move the ball down the field. All right. Now, if they go out there in that first quarter, just say they play a quarter, they don't have to score every single drive for me to feel like okay, this is great. But move the ball down the field. Okay. Be consistent, move the ball down the field. I want to see Ted, continue to work on his timing with Bryce. You know what I mean? Especially like that touchdown he missed last night. I think that stuff will come. But go out there like they did on that first play, that second drive, push the ball down the field. Get a little
Right.
creative with Rico Dowdle in the backfield. You saw some of that last night too, where he was able to catch the ball. Let me tell you, because Chuba Hubbard would have never made that diving catch that Rico did. I praise Chuba for being able to work on his hands, but yeah, I don't think he there yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? So factor
I
that
agree
in,
with
work
you.
yeah, work him into the offense. I hope Damian Lewis is back, but I did read that they say he's week to week now. So it might be a
Who's that?
situation where Damian Lewis, the guard,
Them niggas.
he's yeah,
What?
he got
What
a
is?
shoulder
What?
injury.
Oh, got shoulder injury.
Hmm.
That he was dealing with that shoulder injury last year as well, wasn't he? When he
Probably
dealing with
so, because I
shoulder
think
injury last year?
yeah, because he missed a game or so last year. Yeah.
I
Hmm.
know. I know he missed a lot of time during training camp. You know, I think he had some personal issues during training camp, but I
Hmm.
know throughout the regular season, he had some issues with his shoulder. Okay, Doug said it was his forearm. Okay.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, okay. And yeah, and thank you, Doug. I couldn't think of the other receiver, Nico Collins. Thank you. Yeah, yeah.
He said Eternal 252 said Rico was looking like Miles Sanders. That's so disrespectful.
Hey, let me tell you. Hey, Eternal been coming with the heat over here lately. Let me-
I mean, he didn't. Don't get me wrong. He didn't look good outside of that,
That
that
pass,
catch
that
that he
catch.
made. Don't get me
Mm-hmm.
wrong, but he didn't get any run but behind that first string offensive line. So I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I just want to point that out. And it's not like we're not aware of the history that Rico Dowdle has when he's running behind a pretty good offensive line. Like he has a resume out there. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So
Yep.
I'm not going to hang last night on him and say, well, it was his fault. Because none of the running backs look good outside of Chuba in the first two series with the
Mm-hmm.
ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel you on that one. But yeah, hey, Austin, I feel you on this one too. Offense clicking, mental errors cleaned up. Yep, that is a fact. That is a fact.
I agree with that.
Eternal said we was watching the same game. Yeah. We were.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me see. He says even Troop struggled. Damian Lewis was the only one out. Damian Lewis, our best O lineman. I got you, Eternal. I got you. I got you. Let
Yeah,
me tell you,
I don't agree with that second part.
Damian Lewis is a problem now. He definitely is a problem. I think he was definitely worth the
Yeah.
investment. But we'll
Yeah.
see.
But in my opinion, let me say that. In my opinion, he's not our best offensive lineman.
Okay, I got you. Well, who is Tony? Who you got as the best
I would
offensive
say
lineman?
Rob Hunt. Rob Hunt.
Okay, I got you.
I would say
I
Rob Hunt.
got you. Yep. Look, Panther dog agrees with you. All right, cool
Yeah.
beans, man. Hey, but because before we get out of here, man, hey, tell if you have any more last thoughts, and tell the people where to find you
Man, they can't find me nowhere. I see when I
at.
see you. I ain't out here in these streets. You can catch me at armchair GM CJ whenever he has me on. That's the only time you're gonna catch me.
All right. Well, I will say this. I'm gonna make a concerted effort to make that happen more often. All right. And
All
again,
right.
cuz, hey, I
Antonio.
thank you. Hey, I thank you. I love you, and I appreciate you joining me, big dog. I appreciate you joining me.
Hey, love you too, cuz. No
Hey, what's up,
problem.
Tony? I mean, not Tony, but Antonio. My bad. What's going on with you, man?
What's going on, Antonio?
All right. Okay. Hey, look. Tony said, "I'll find you. You won't find me."
Damn right.
Yo, that is
Yeah.
crazy. He go, Doug said, where where can they find them? Said, nah, you catch up with CJ for the coming back of two fans in the stands. Okay, all right, I got you. All right,
There
cool
you
beans,
go,
y'all.
boy.
Yeah, there go Doug. All right, y'all. Hey, but while everybody's still in here before we leave, if you haven't already, please make sure you hit that like, subscribe button. Give me a follow over on Facebook. Give me a follow on X. Wherever you're watching me from. Again, you can catch me on all social media at Armchair GMCJ. That's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all of it. Okay. And again, I appreciate all the love and support. Thank you for everybody for the super chats, memberships. I appreciate you, and I thank all of you for it. Okay. And all right, as always, Panther Nation. All right, I am going to leave y'all with three things. All right. Hold on. Let me see. Number one, y'all be safe. Number two, y'all be Lord have mercy. I messed up my own stuff. Number one, y'all be good. Number two, y'all be safe. And number three, as always, Panther Nation, keep pounding, man. We'll see.